Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the Tim Kylo broadcast booth here at W. Michael Ross 66 Stadium at CBC High School. It is district final night in Class 4 District 2 boys soccer, and who else would we have but CBC against arch rival DeSmet. My name is Tom Eichwald. I'm happy to bring you the game, and alongside me tonight is Mr. Tim Halfman-Morris. We're going to go right into the video to show you how CBC got here in a penalty shootout against Marquette on Tuesday night. Then we'll have playoff action for you here on CSN. Not that one.
Hopefully that doesn't get to him.
Bennett, long run up. Rotors ready. Goal! Julian Bennett scores. CBC advances to the district final on a penalty goal from Julian Bennett. 110 minutes couldn't separate CBC and Marquette on Tuesday night, but that penalty kick from Julian Bennett was able to do the trick. That got the Cadets through to face the Spartans, who beat the Lafayette Lancers by a score of 2-0 just earlier on Tuesday. This sets up a grudge match, a rematch, and everything you hope for in a high school soccer game. CBC DeSmet, district final on a beautiful fall evening. Tim, what kind of game can we expect tonight?
It's going to be a full-out battle. These teams, if you take both the previous games into account, they're tied 1-1 going into this game. DeSmet striking early with a 1-0 victory in the tournament here at CBC, and then CBC getting a 1-0 victory to win the MCC championship. So both these teams are going to fight it out. Very evenly matched. It's going to be a great game.
I think one of the keys for CBC tonight is to score an early goal. In years past, one of the things DeSmet has done is made it a priority to frustrate CBC by keeping players back, staying in a very disciplined shape, looking for opportunities on free kicks rather than advancing and leaving spaces in behind. So if you are CBC and you can get an early goal, pull DeSmet out of their game plan, out of their shape, that could be enormous for CBC. And for DeSmet, it's going to be resolute, do your job, know exactly where you're supposed to be. Nothing fancy, just get the job done and execute.
Yeah, and my prediction is they're going to try to frustrate CBC into giving up some free kicks. That is sort of a DeSmet specialty, is the set plays and set pieces and scoring off those restarts. So for CBC, it's staying disciplined, not giving up those chances.
See an early goal kick here for Logan Payne, the goalkeeper, junior goalkeeper for the DeSmet Spartans. I mentioned it is a beautiful evening. If you're not out here with us, go outside somewhere. You can take us with you. There is a breeze blowing as a talking point. There is a breeze blowing at DeSmet backs at this point. DeSmet in the white, CBC in the purple. So DeSmet attacking with the wind here in this first half. It is a breeze that can affect a soccer ball. So we mentioned that to you just so you are aware. I want to welcome the many CBC fans joining us from all over on the Cadet Student Network. This is a student-led broadcasting initiative that tries to bring you everything that's going on at the school. I want to thank Mason Jenkins, Joe Cunningham, and Charlie Hines, Max Adamski, all working on the broadcast tonight. I want to say a special word of thanks to Randy Gardner, our fearless leader. To our DeSmet fans, I want to thank you for joining us here on CSN. And we do understand it has been a very difficult few weeks for the DeSmet community. Please know that our thoughts and prayers here on CSN and in the entire CBC family are with you on the recent tragic loss of Jazz Granderson, the football coaching staff. So before we contest this game, just wanted to let all those DeSmet fans, families, students, coaches, teachers, everybody in the DeSmet community, let you know that we are thinking about you and praying for you in these coming weeks.
One sort of note on the game, CBC is going to be in their purples, as here they've given up a free kick around the 20-yard line, 30 yards out from goal. CBC's in the purples. They do come into this tournament the number 2 seed, technically, and DeSmet is technically the home team in the whites. So if there's a little bit of confusion, it's at CBC, and yet CBC's the away team. That's why.
You know, 2 rivals playing in the district final. I don't think anybody cares what color they're wearing as long as you have an opportunity to make a run at a state title. Free kick's going to come in from the left foot of Kyle Burke. Burke's cross far post. That is an excellent delivery. I don't think that was a fluke either. Technique was perfect. We'll see that again.
That's a dangerous ball, ghosting into that back corner. Really sort of pushing Rendazzo on that edge of, do I go after it? Do I stay back? luckily, it just seemed to coast over everyone's head.
Long diagonal ball from Kurt Miller aimed for Nate Tem. That is intercepted by the DeSmet left back, number 3, Jackson Anderson. And ball still bouncing around in the midfield, finds its way to Jack Edwards, the All-American. One of the players that DeSmet is really going to look to shut down tonight. Jack's so dangerous going forward, so disciplined and effective going back.
Now, this is a similar setup to what we saw CBC at the end of the Marquette game with Reese McKell up top and Dempster behind him.
Nolan DeWeese under pressure, heads back to Nick Randazzo under a lot of pressure from Eric Nicolason.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a scary play. Nice job by Randazzo keeping his calm and able to catch that one.
I think Randazzo and DeWeese will have you believe that's exactly how they intended it. We offer that without comment here. Centering pass for Reese McKell, who whiffs. That ball was a good one. Came in from Julian Bennett.
Julian Bennett, the speedster on the outside.
That is a handball from Avi Wessa. Well spotted by Jeff Pulley, the referee tonight.
Yeah, I think Reese McKell did a nice job backing off his run, and I think it was just maybe a little surprised to get such a nice, clean ball. I think the little bit of nerves and having something so easy and so open in front of him. But hopefully we'll see some more of those.
Well, and I don't think he'll do that twice in a game. He's a very clinical finisher. One of the Cadets' leading scorers, leads the Cadets in game-winning goals. He's got 5 game-winning goals this season. Carson King now. Cade Walsh really has to be on his horse at the backside.
That's a great tackle from Sapienza.
Wow. There was an option in the middle. Looked like Eric Nicolason was streaking down that far side. Carson King and Nicolason, a very potent combination up top.
Yeah, that was nicely sealed to the outside by Sapienza, using his body as position, waiting for the eventual cutback move off the sideline, and just took it right off him.
A little sloppy there from Jack Edwards. Don't see that often. Long distance shot sails just wide of the post. That was Nicholas Gruey hitting that one. Couldn't tell from here if Randazzo had that covered, but he was at the very least concerned.
Yeah, that kind of tailing away, sort of that starting on the inside, going to the outside curve. I think Randazzo wasn't sure how far that was going to go to the outside, but I think that's going to be the mood, is when shots are available, I think both CBC and DeSmet are going to take them.
McKell. Closed down quickly by Wessa. Now Nate Tem. He's one-on-one with Anderson. Tem trying to cut inside. He can't do that. And it will be a corner kick. DeSmet letting it ride. Matt Lucas let that one go out of bounds. But Jeff Pulley saw a deflection. This will be a CBC corner kick. Edwards takes it short to Tem, who's going to cross it in with the right. Coming out is Logan Payne. Good goalkeeping. No hesitation from Logan Payne. And what a boot that is. Again, downwind. Straight from keeper to keeper. Randazzo decides not to return the favor.
Yeah, I don't think Randazzo is going to get the benefit of the wind.
I want to go back for a moment to the tackle by Josh Sapienza on Carson King just a few moments ago, as that one's headed back to Logan Payne. Sapienza, a player who started off the season on JV, was coming back from an injury sustained in club, kind of got a little bit of a slow start to the season. But in recent games, and especially on Tuesday night, I thought he was fantastic at the back. When CBC was really pressing against Marquette, they were leaving themselves vulnerable at the back. But consistently, it was Sapienza and Nolan DeWeese who were mopping up as DeSmet cuts in on the far side. Ball nice. Still in. Carson King, leading scorer, closed down by Sapienza. DeWeese trying to head clear. That will be a corner kick to DeSmet. Just to finish the point, the composure that Sapienza and DeWeese showed on Tuesday night when CBC was pressing at the other end, they were bored for long spells, but when called into action, they were excellent. So they will need that again, will CBC, from Nolan DeWeese and Sapienza. Corner kick coming for DeSmet. It'll be an in-swinger. Numbers in the box. Numbers all around Nick Randazzo. They're lining up around the goal line. Ball played in. That is a dangerous one. It was tipped, and it will be a corner kick again to DeSmet. Somebody got a head on it. So 2 delivery opportunities, one from a free kick, one from a corner kick. Both have been excellent deliveries. This will be Burke, Kyle Burke. He's going to get this one in. We saw a free kick with the left foot earlier, so I'd imagine we'll see the same thing. Substitutions for DeSmet coming into the game. Sean Lingkogel and Lucas Payne. And coming out, it looks like Nicolason. And is that King? Bringing off the leading scorer. Wonder if they're doing hockey shifts up front tonight to keep the energy high. Burke's corner kick. It will be a left-footed in-swinger. Delivers it a little higher out, looking for Avi Wessa. That's headed clear by Nolan DeWeese, and a third go at it for the Spartans.
Yeah, the Spartans probably watched that Marquette game. A lot of opportunities coming to Marquette off of corner kicks. And very similar sort of play, packing it into the box and then making runs out into the space, trying to direct it back in. That's going to go way over the top.
Headed clear by McKell. And now McKell and a speedy Nick Dempster trying to close that down. Here's Dempster in space. He's got Bennett far side. Talk about speed. Good ball from Dempster. Bennett.
Ooh, nicely.
Can't get on the end of that. That's very well defended there by Kyle Burke.
Yeah, nicely bodied off that one, got the position, but promising counterattack from CBC.
Kyle Burke, the left back for DeSmet, getting it done at both ends so far. And this center back pairing of Matt Lucas and Joshua Lindell, a very experienced one for DeSmet. Sapienza. Crosses to Curtin Miller. A lot of talented juniors in this CBC team, including Nolan DeWeese, Nate Tem, Kurt Miller. A lot of youth for CBC. And as I say, that senior goalkeeper, Nick Grandazzo, plays it to Kurt Miller out to his right-hand side. 10 minutes gone here in the district final. Again, you're watching the Cadet Student Network. If you're just joining us, the Cadets are wearing the purple. They are the second seed in the district. They're going right to left across your screen. DeSmet in the home white, unusual at CBC, but DeSmet in the white going left to right across your screen. This is Julian Bennett, whose penalty secured a trip to this game for CBC. Tem heads down looking for Dempster. And that's cleared only as far as Cade Walsh. And DeSmet trying to clear again. Already you're seeing DeSmet shift into a pattern where they've got one striker high, maybe an attacking midfielder in behind, and then everybody else back. So you can see the game plan, absorb the pressure, and spring forward when possible.
There's always 7 players right now behind the ball when it's in their own end. But they do have a lot of speed on the wings, and so that can change quickly. Those wings usually go full throttle down the outside.
Clearance flicked on by DeSmet. Sapienza again stepping up. His anticipation is excellent. Ball played in. McKell can't get there. And it's recycled through Nick Dempster. When Dempster is at his most influential, he is an attacking player. Make no mistake about it. But when he really wants to win, we saw it on senior night against, as Reese McKell tries to get through. Nice job by Jackson Anderson. But to finish the point, when Dempster is in the mood, he can be immense. And he runs the entire center of the field, again, when he's in the mood. Sometimes you see him get a little bit isolated up top, but it looks like early on he's dropping deep, he's advancing high, he's doing everything he needs to do so far in this game, except finding the ball in attacking areas.
Right here, Julian Bennett does a nifty job on forcing a corner kick. Looks like Edwards is going to go over and take it.
Edwards will deliver this one with his preferred right foot. He's got Bennett short if he wants him.
But Bennett is going to go to the front post, get in the way.
Ball played in. Finds Cade Walsh, headed back across goal. I think that was supposed to be back on goal, but maybe just missed it a little bit. And it'll be a goal kick for Logan Payne.
Yeah, he tried to pick out that front post, trying to catch the goalkeeper going back to his right. Maybe catch him trying to, go the other way, but unfortunately no CBC player making a run to that front post.
Substitutions for DeSmet. Alex Walters coming in along with Jack Knott. Looks like Nick Gruey taking a break along with Avi Wessa.
Those outsides.
More short shifts from DeSmet. They know it's going to be a long game. Probably a talking point tonight will also be CBC's lack of frequent substitutions. Coach Mickler on Tuesday electing to play virtually the same lineup for the entire game. You wonder how the fatigue will be a factor. Of course, it was a cooler night. You weren't dealing with heat. But the starting 11 seems pretty clear in the mind of Coach Mickler, and he trusts them. He wants them out there. Good tackle by DeWeese. Now Kurt Miller under pressure, being closed down. That's that high pressure. We were talking about the hockey shifts. You send players out for short bursts, tell them to go all out for 7, 8, 9 minutes, give them a break, do it again. Throw in from Miller. 25:55 to go in this one. Still scoreless between CBC and DeSmet. Last year, of course, a game that we won't soon forget. I don't think DeSmet's forgotten either. A 0-0 game, went to penalty kicks. CBC winning after some of the most thrilling overtime I have ever seen in a high school game. As Dempster breaks through. He's closed down from behind. Nick Dempster, that ball in just behind Dempster. Tem trying to get in there. Good pressure. Now Edwards, is he going to hit this with the right? No, cuts it onto his left. We saw Marquette try to deny him right-footed shooting opportunities. I have to imagine that DeSmet has seen that as well. Of course, they've seen him for a few years now. Hate to think they watched our broadcast where we talked about needing to shut down Edwards' right foot. Ball played through. Good possession from DeSmet. Option at the back post. That is Lucas. Or Walters, correction, at the back post. Rendazzo clears. Alex Walters at the back post was wide open. Nobody followed him back. 15 minutes gone in the first half. More substitutions coming back in for DeSmet. Michael Donlin. And he is going to give a break to number 15, Matt Russo. Throw in DeSmet. It's about 3 or 4 substitutions for DeSmet. Usually 2 guys going on at a time to none for CBC. Ball dumped in by Dempster, chased down by Tem, and headed out of bounds by Anderson. And it will be a throw in CBC.
Tem did a nice job there putting on the pressure. Quick restart from CBC.
Cade Walsh's ball blocked, finds his brother Colton. Cade Walsh again. He's got good positioning. Good recovery, though, from Michael Donlin. 16, not 18. And now at the far side, Miller. Looking in the middle, can't find anybody. And DeSmet looking to break, intercepted by Cade Walsh. Now Nick Dempster. That's the sort of area he needs to find the ball in. He plays it wide to Julian Bennett. Bennett's going to get a right-footed cross in. Tem just not in far enough. I think he checked his run. Frankly, you need to be a little bit farther in. When Bennett has a man guarding him that closely, he can't whip that ball back toward the top of the 18 or toward the penalty spot. It's got to be along the goal line, along the 6-yard box. You'd expect your strikers and your midfielders to know that and get in there. And Colton Walsh's header twice advances. Both times ultimately finds a DeSmet player. And he plays in with his foot this time. That one's cleared out by Lucas, but only as far as Bennett. Now Miller. Across just a little bit over Reese McKell, and that'll go out of bounds for a DeSmet throw. Hard to believe. We haven't seen a goal. We haven't seen too many clear-cut opportunities. But we're almost halfway through this first half. That's hard to believe. The time is flying by here.
It's a bit of a positioning chess match as both teams are kind of prodding their styles and trying to figure out where the creases are in the defense.
Colton Walsh. Jack Edwards. Switches play via Kurt Miller. Now Bennett. Finds Edwards closed down from the backside by Carson King back out there. I mentioned King, the leading goal scorer for DeSmet. He has got 6.
It's an unfortunate ball from Josh Sapienza, but lucky to get it back here.
He was. And another one. Sapienza coming under some pressure here. That was Jack Knott with that second interception. That time it was Jeff Pulley twice. Only problem is he's wearing black and red tonight. He's the official. Nothing he could really do there. Kind of got himself trapped. And Colton Walsh battling it out over there with Alexander Walters. Good physical battle. And that is said, they say that goes out of bounds. Aaron Johansson, the assistant referee on the near side, says it all went out of bounds. He was right on top of it, and he's a good official, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Of course, we can see everything the best from up here, can't we, Tim?
We have the best perspective.
We do, especially on that far line. Throw in short. Nicolason finds Donlin, cleared by Edwards, and helped on by Reese McKell. Bennett first there, but he can't beat the DeSmet marker. And now Bennett in space with the left foot. And cutting back on the right. Played inside. He was looking for Dempster, but instead it squeaks through somehow to Cade Walsh. All the way back to DeWeese. Here you're going to see DeSmet. This is what they do best. Look at the discipline. Look at the shape. Everybody knows their jobs. They move as one, side to side, vertically. It is extremely hard to bring DeSmet out of their positions. Those players are so entrenched in those pathways and those places, and it really is impressive to watch. And CBC is going to have their hands full trying to break through it tonight. Edwards. He's closed down but retains possession. Back for DeWeese. He's got Sapienza to his left, but instead DeWeese goes long and direct looking for Reese McKell. Ball bouncing around. Dempster finds it. Control still Dempster. Ball just bounces a little bit too far ahead of him. Again, pressure from DeSmet on the ball there. Edwards is brought down late. That will be a foul. So it'll be a free kick to CBC. Nothing malicious, just a little bit late there from, that might be Nicolason over there. I believe it is. And this one will be taken by...
Was it Kurt Miller?
I believe it is Kurt Miller over there, the number 3. Inside of 20 minutes to go. We're more than halfway through the first half. District final game. Cross comes in.
Oof.
Misplayed. Edwards can't quite control and is guilty of a foul. The initial misplay on the clearance was from Kyle Burke. But fortunately for DeSmet, it doesn't come back to bite him. It'll be a free kick going out. While we have a second, we want to ask you, Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we are incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. And now Jackson Anderson plays it out of bounds. Tried a few different plans there. He ended up with plan C or so, which was play it out of bounds, but well done.
Completely pestered by, mistouch here.
Ooh, DeWeese does well there to take it right off the foot of Carson King.
Yeah, there was nobody in between him and the goal.
Seen Julian Bennett chasing it down. Logan Payne made the right decision and got there in time. We've seen a couple misplays out of the back for CBC from Sapienza and DeWeese.
And that's that high pressure, that forecheck.
It is. It's the forecheck, but it's also big game, nerves, still settling in. Windy night as well. You don't want to be the back that makes a mistake that's wind-related. So I would expect to see CBC settle in and Sapienza and DeWeese to show their quality. Throw-in goes to CBC's way. This is Colton Walsh who will take it. CBC still wearing the black wristbands honoring Brett Bozeski of the class of 2008, tragically passed away this summer. So that's why you're seeing black wristbands on all the CBC players.
One of the things I'm noticing from the defensive pressure is that trailing, that sort of offensively minded midfielder that's trailing the striker has really just been pestering and looking for balls to Jack Edwards. The DeSmet seems to be very content with everyone else holding the ball except Edwards. And it's a fairly good strategy as a lot of the offensive setup and delivery goes through Edwards. Ball here for King.
The initial shot from Nicolason was blocked. Pressure from Cade Walsh. Ball played out wide to Walters. Walters beats Colton Walsh. Walters
Space
with the
here.
left, wide open shot. That is played into the middle. I think it was a shot. Looked like his plant foot slipped, but Michael Donlin was making an excellent run, plays it over the bar. I don't think he was expecting that ball to come in with the pace. I do think that was probably a shot attempt from Walters. But good pressure, and so far, despite CBC having some solid possession in the midfield, the clearest chances of the game have come to the visiting Spartans. And that will not be part of CBC's game plan as we see a substitution getting ready to come on. Looks like Sam Benoist getting ready to make his entrance. That ball will be played out of bounds.
Looks like they're pointing to the corner. Julian Bennett earning another corner kick.
Substitution for CBC. It looks like it will be Benoist. He is going to come in for Tem. And it should be a straight swap over here on the left wing with Benoist spending most of his season patrolling that sideline. Corner kick's going to come in from Edwards. Right foot, outswinger. Plays it far post. Just a little too tall for Dempster.
A little too far.
Maybe
that ball's going to carry a little bit farther than it used to.
Yeah, maybe if he was wearing his PF Flyers, he might have gotten up to it, but as it is, he doesn't. More changes for DeSmet.
It's like the entire front line.
Yep. Wessa, Gruy. Am I really going to try to get all these numbers? Linkogel,
Lucas Payne.
and Lucas Payne, the four players who've come on. If you're watching the broadcast, you will notice down in the bottom right, we have the game clock running for you. We'll try not to jostle too much and affect that. But do want to thank Pat Flax, CBC alum, and his wife for helping us get the Corporal Cadet clock up and running. So that is the Corporal Cadet clock. Thank you to Pat Flax. Like the clock and help us add another camera so we could make it happen. So Pat Flax and Mrs. Flax, we want to thank you very sincerely. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 14:08 to go, as you see on the Corporal Cadet clock. I'm not used to having a clock. I'm used to saying the time. So apologize for the redundancy. As Reese McKell cuts inside, left foot. This is Dempster. Left-footed opportunity for Dempster. One too many touches. Needed to let fly. Will Bennett let fly? He does. Back post, and that goes wide. Dempster had to hit it.
Yeah, Dempster was unable to pull the trigger with his left foot, usually favoring his right.
Has to let fly. He has the opportunity. It's a wonderful ball played in. McKell does well. Dempster does well. Just allowed too much time for those DeSmet defenders to close him down. But credit to DeSmet for forcing him onto his left. These guys know each other. They grew up playing together. They went to grade school together. They play club together. They know that they need to force Dempster onto his left. Benoist! And that is right at Logan Payne. Best chance of the night for CBC. And Benoist puts it right at the junior goalkeeper of the Spartans.
Benoist did really well. The pressure there, that pressure on the defense, and then found himself looking at the goal. And a little bit of like first opportunity jitters there, right to the goalkeeper.
And Sapienza's header straight up causes some problems, eventually sorted out thanks to Jack Edwards. Ooh, stutter steps. And that is not going to go on the highlight reel of, I believe that was Alex Walters. Wonderful from Edwards, though, as Dempster plays it over for Benoist. He'll be hungry after missing a good chance. Goes out CBC's way. Avi Wessa getting a touch. It'll be a Colton Walsh throw-in. And there's Benoist trying to hit across. Looked like he mishit it. He was trying to drive it in. Came off the outside of the foot, which gives us a chance to tell you that TJ's Pizza is now available in our concession stands. Be sure to grab a slice next time you're here on campus. But TJ's is about more than just pizza. They offer a simple process that helps your school, team, or organization raise money by selling delicious pizzas and desserts. Call TJ's Pizza and Fundraising at 314-869-9404 for more information, or check them out online at tjspizza.com. And thank you, TJ's. Pass to McKell, intercepted by Lindell.
Looks like we're going to have a switch here. It looks like Tem coming back on for Reese McKell. Going to do some work up in that top spot.
Yeah, that was a like for like as well. Tem's going to be playing as a striker, which he can do. Personally, I've always liked Nate Tem central, especially with Dempster central as well. They combine very, very well. Good understanding. Benoist, left foot. He's closed down nicely by Lucas, but back for Dempster. Can Dempster put this in? This is on his right. He's going to say it was deflected, but I think that's just a miss. And it will be a goal kick to Logan Payne. 11 minutes to go here in this first half. Again, at stake is the entire season. Both of these teams coming in after impressive seasons. CBC ranked number 2 in the area. DeSmet ranked number 6. Correction,
no, number 4.
Number 4.
Marquette was ranked number 6. It's one of the smaller crimes here that 3 of the top teams in the state have to face each other right off the bat in district play.
It really is. And, of course, there's 2 ways to look at it. One dictates that if you're going to win state, if you're going to go to state, you have to beat good teams. Might as well do it earlier rather than later. The problem, though, is you've got teams of the caliber of Marquette, of the caliber of CBC, a couple handles there, but inadvertent, says Jeff Pulley. The caliber of Marquette, CBC, DeSmet, who don't get the opportunity to make a playoff run that their level of talent and the coaching and the playing style and the coaching you would think deserves. So it is unfortunate the way the districts tend to fall, but it's all there. You know year in, year out, you're going to have to run that gauntlet, and it's just part of the fabric of soccer in the St. Louis area that you're going to have really intense playoff games. Somebody's going to be left heartbroken not having the playoff run that they'll feel they deserved. But at the end of the day, you just have to survive. One game at a time. It's a cliche, but nowhere is it more apparent than here in Class 4 District 2. I mean, very real possibility that your first 2 playoff games, given the kind of parity between the teams, could both end up in extra overtime or penalties.
Yeah. Here, DeSmet marching down this sideline.
This will be a throw-in from Jackson Anderson. And we'll get a first look at a real long throw opportunity. No, they're going to find Avi Wessa short.
And he went out of bounds.
He did. It was nice skill. But he's judged to have gone out of bounds. It was a very nice turn.
Yeah, the official was right there, though.
Yep.
It's an easy call to make for the official.
It is. And Colton Walsh will give that a throw up the line. Benoist trying to control. He does, but Avi Wessa gets back in there, takes a little barge from Dempster. Dempster came in full-blooded. Jeff Pulley's going to just talk to him as they make sure Avi Wessa's okay. There has been no stoppage of play, so Wessa appears to be okay. Dempster's going to get a cool it. There's going to be no booking.
I think he was trying to.
Although we might have, we've got words for the coaching staff of DeSmet as the assistant coaches are being directed to get back to their technical area. So again, Nick Dempster is going to get a talking to.
Oh, he's going to get a yellow.
He is going to get a yellow.
I think this is a little bit of a confusion. Dempster turned to the crowd and gave a "we need to be louder." The referee, because of the proximity to Avi Wessa, took it as taunting after the hard tackle. That's where I'm gonna looking at that situation, and he's gonna go over to the sideline, explain the situation. I don't think it's on the tackle. I think it's off the pump up to try to get the crowd involved, but you can't do that after a hard tackle. That and that proximity to Avi Wessa. So.
And with 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go on the Cadet Colonel clock, again donated by Pat and Lorraine Flax. Our official has explained the situation to both benches. And as usual, we'll find out exactly what Coach thinks of the yellow card by how quickly Nick Dempster comes back out on the field. He is itching to go. Yeah, initially it looked like he was just going to get a talking to, but I did not see the clock stop signal, which must have come right away while we were still looking at Aviwesa.
I think there was a discussion, and then all of a sudden the card came out. If it was a foul, then there was a throw-in. That's the part that I'm like confused on. If it was on the hard tackle, why did they give a throw-in and not a foul? So
it must have been after.
Must have been that, because if you check the replay, he does do a, hey, crowd, let's be louder to the CBC fan base.
Sapienza's tackle, he got barged into pretty good by Lucas Payne, and the Cadets take it quickly. That's good defending there by Matt Lucas.
Reese McKell's wondering if that was a little high.
Wessa. Reese McKell closing down. That'll be out of bounds, be CBC's throw. We're going to get some, nope, change is not made. Sapienza out to Miller. Kurt Miller being closed down very quickly. Good intensity, good pressure from DeSmet as we expected. Very high energy, lots of substitutions. They want to keep the grip nice and tight around this CBC team. Walsh. Benoist. And that's cleared out by Lucas, who, along with Benoist, having a nice chat down there. It is intense. It's playoffs. It's a rivalry. It's exactly what you would expect from CBC DeSmet. Again, if you're wondering, CBC is in the purple, going right to left. Ball played in. Logan Payne's going to claim that. DeSmet in the white, going left to right. We do have a replay of the foul. We'll get you that at stoppage. See if we can figure out exactly what happened there. And Aviwesa. Walsh. Benoist. Back for Colton Walsh, looking for Reese McKell. Finds Sam Benoist. Sam Benoist trying to cut inside, closed down by Lucas. And Lindell clears that. He was looking for Lucas Payne. Instead found Nolan DeWeese. Now Cade Walsh doing a nice job of backtracking as Jack Edwards clears for Reese McKell. And still Reese McKell. Dumping it wide for Julian Bennett, who's got some work to do over there. And that's going to be shepherded out of bounds by Kyle Burke. And we got substitutions. Let's go to the replay here. Tim, take us through it.
Right here you've got intense play in the out to the side. Ball goes out of bounds right there. Nick Dempster's going to turn, and he's trying to get the crowd involved, and that's where the official steps in. And that's what I think happened. You know, he's trying to get the crowd pumped up, but in the proximity of that kind of play, the ref interpreted it as sort of a taunting motion, and that's going to be a yellow.
Yep. And Dempster is back out on the field, so he'll have to make sure he maintains his calm with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in a scoreless first half. Approaching 150 minutes of goalless regulation here in this district tournament as Cade Walsh flips it long. Headed down by McKell for Tem. Now Dempster running on, back to McKell. This is Reese McKell. Finds its way through to Dempster. Dempster with the right, just wide of the post. That is so difficult to bring down and control. He does very well just to get a shot off, but it is off target. 3:45 to go.
I was hoping for Sam Benoist to be able to read that, use his body to shepherd it into the net. Unfortunately, just passed right in front.
And 3.5 minutes to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. That one's flicked on to King. King's got to run inside of him, but that'll be watched out by Sapienza. The run inside looked like it was coming from Henry Lawler, the senior number 25 from DeSmet. Now Benoist.
Good turn there. Oof,
it was.
That's going to be a foul.
Yeah, he kind
that's
of
a foul.
Shoves Lawler in the back there. That's an easy one.
Yeah, he can't. He's trying to look defiant on it, but he knows what he did.
as do the 179 people watching us.
I think as this game goes on and on, I think that number will hopefully slowly tick up.
It will, but you also factor in it's a beautiful night. We got a lot of people out here at the game. A nice full parking lot. Deweese heads. Back in. Edwards clears. Now here is Dempster. Dempster going long. Nate Thames got some speed. He's not that fast.
I think he's going to position himself to force this to the outside.
He is. Lucas plays it back into the middle. Cade Walsh intercepts. And again, DeSmet, you snap your fingers and they're right back in their defensive shape. Ball played in. Tem a little bit isolated there, to be fair. Even if he'd gotten that, he would have had to do a lot of work to hold that. And Colton Walsh off of Carson King. Throw in CBC. Walsh for Dempster. Dempster closed down. Cade Walsh, wonderful skill from the sophomore. And under pressure from Benoist, that's played out. It's a tip from Benoist, but it was played out by Anderson. And DeSmet throw. CBC saying it should be back a little ways. Jackson Anderson implicitly agrees. Throw in taken from midfield as Dempster clears. That's going to be another DeSmet throw. 1 minute, 17 seconds to go. Anderson's throw doesn't find King. It only finds Colton Walsh, but it'll be another go.
Expect maybe a bit of a longer throw here as they switch it up. It's number 24.
That is Burke.
He launches it in. Cleared out by Deweese and sent into the atmosphere. Oof.
That is Tem barged into from behind. That is straight from behind, clear cut. And Matt Lewis was the player who barged into him.
Yeah,
25 seconds to go.
He did not go straight up on that, went straight horizontal.
No. Inside of 20 seconds. Can we get anything but a scoreless half? Foul there on Reese McKell. That was also pretty clear cut. 5 seconds. Long range shot, might as well with 2 seconds on the clock. That's going to take it to halftime. As the fans start to clear the bleachers for some TJ's Pizza and Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Yes, that's right, Chick-fil-A sandwiches on sale in the concession stand. Official chicken sandwich of CSN. What do we see in this first half, Tim? Take us through what we saw.
Well, at times a very defensive game. CBC defensively maintaining possession, using that sort of standard three-back that they're very well known for. Great individual play from the defense versus DeSmet's 7 people behind the ball, sort of defending by committee. At times the game opened up, and that's where it got really exciting as runs were beginning to develop, but then the defenses sort of shut that down. And it's a lot of just sort of this chess match posturing of finding that perfect ball and cross. But I will say this, CBC had much more of the attack at the, I would say, second half of the half, and they looked very strong, challenging, and going forward.
And if we go back to the Marquette game we saw on Tuesday, the CBC Marquette game, again scoreless through 110 minutes, went to penalty kicks. We saw a first half that was very similar. CBC maybe having a little bit of an edge in the Marquette game, probably a little bit more even here. But in the second half there, we saw an uptick from energy, and that led to a lot more chances from CBC. I would expect a similar energy increase at halftime from the Cadets.
Yeah, especially with the wind to their back in the second half, being able to put those balls out, let the speedsters run onto them, create some chaos when the defense is trying to clear it out into the wind and not getting that long ball over the top.
So that's what we saw in the first half. We're going to take a quick break, then we'll have second half action. You're watching the district final, CBC 0, DeSmet 0, on the Cadet Student Network.
Let State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo protect what matters most to you. Whether it's auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance, for more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients manage risk and realize their dreams. Tim is a member of the CBC Alumni Hall of Fame and is a presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. He prides himself on serving and protecting our CBC community, and he can protect you too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. That's right, Tim Kylo can save you money. Learn more online anytime at timkylo.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Cadet Student Network's broadcast of the Class 4 District 2 championship game between CBC and DeSmet. We are getting set for the TJ's Pizza kickoff here in the second half. We hope the fans have enjoyed some TJ's and some Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, of course, the official chicken sandwich of CSN. They're sold in our concession stands. They're perfect for dinner on the go. Be sure to visit our friends at our favorite Chick-fil-A location on Manchester, just east of Ballas. They're our favorite pregame meal. They want to be yours, too. So thank you, Chick-fil-A. We also have a second to brag a little bit, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll tell you a little bit why CBC is stronger than ever. Of course, you know the athletic programs, but you may not know that this past year, 55 of our students earned Missouri Bright Flight honors. 6 more students received recognition from the prestigious National Merit Scholarship programs, and when all was said and done, our young men had earned more than 2,600 hours of college credit right here at CBC. That is an estimated $1.5 million of tuition savings for all you parents out there interested in such numbers. Also want to say that since 2013, CBC grads have earned more than $77 million in scholarship offers. CBC Honors Program students averaging over 30 on the ACT. Top 10% of student body averaging almost a 33 on the ACT. Students of every level, yes, we have numbers to prove this. Students of every level at CBC, regardless of where they're starting, are growing at more than twice the national average in math and reading. So you talk about a school that is absolutely flying in the academic accomplishments. CBC students really doing some impressive things. Also the Performing Arts Program, winning Production of the Year for Grease from the St. Louis High School Theater Association. Award-winning music programs, STEM programs, CBC students taking home awards in STEM programs all the time. Really is an exciting time to be a part of CBC. Come check us out. Visit us, go to cbchs.org, find out all that's going on at CBC. We want to tell you more about that, but right now, let's tell you more about what's happening. We got a dangerous free kick here from Matt Russo of DeSmet. Again, DeSmet in the white, CBC in the purple. This will be with the right foot of Russo as Dempster has to back up. And that's headed clear by Walsh, Colton Walsh. Dumped back in by Russo. And now long-range effort from Nicolason. Probably not going to beat Randazzo from there. Certainly if you hit it wide, goal kick going out.
DeSmet getting early chances here by just pressuring the defense of CBC, trying to create some opportunities. But let's see if CBC can establish some possession and attack from there.
Dempster battling it out with Burke there. Gruey. And Gruey fouls him. Here's Bennett. Dempster inside. He cannot keep that one in bounds. It'll be a DeSmet throw going out. We talked about the need for CBC to kind of kick up the intensity here in the second half. Any predictions, any divinations, anything we can take into the second half and be watching for, Tim?
I'd expect a little bit more involvement from Jack Edwards. Whenever he was involved in a play of any kind, he seemed to be generating a lot of space. Here, King pulling ahead.
Randazzo gets there,
nice
and he's able to win it. Good goalkeeping from Nick Randazzo, but that's a lot of field for Carson King to run into. Again, the leading scorer for this DeSmet team with 6 goals.
And I feel DeSmet is going to be just very direct. They're going to go straight to goal whenever they get a chance with the ball. There, nice step over by Avi. Wessa, he's got some field in front of him.
And he's got Carson King drifting off the back shoulder of Nolan DeWeese. Way too much space for Carson King in the middle. He is finding the seam in between DeWeese and Colton Walsh. Walsh needs to be absolutely barking at DeWeese to drop back and man up with Carson King because you cannot give him space in attacking areas as that one is miscontrolled by Dempster. Kurt Miller, Dempster, Miller, Tem. Good
nice.
Quick movement. Dempster in the middle, onside, right
offsides.
foot. Oh, he was offside.
Flag went up. Offsides. The great little setup play there. Unfortunately, the nearest defender that was keeping Dempster on saw the play develop and stepped up about 1.5 yards forward to put Dempster offsides. Nice, smart play off the ball by the DeSmet defender.
I believe that was Lindell, number 5. Again, a junior, experienced player. Flicked on by Dempster looking for Mikkel. Here is Lindell. Doesn't go back to his goalkeeper. Now Mikkel. Mikkel with the right foot. Ambitious.
Tricky touch plays there to try to create some space. Yes, an ambitious shot, but tried to do something there. Again, that pressure, that high pressure from Mikkel, and nice return ball from Tem to keep it in the attacking third.
Cadet fans, do you know a grade school student who might be interested in being a future cadet? Please encourage him to pay us a visit and experience what CBC is all about. Find our admissions team online at cbchs.org/experiencecbc. Every 8th grader should schedule his official visit today. Spend a day with us and experience what CBC is all about. Also should say, if you're interested in committing to CBC, let's say you've done your official visit. Even if you haven't, you're ready to commit to CBC, let us know.
Carson King there backed up into DeWeese and then got the foul, rewarded with the foul call.
And this will be Burke, who's put in a couple good left-footed deliveries. I would expect this to go to a dangerous area, maybe kind of around the far corner of that 6-yard box.
Looks like he floated it up.
Yep, just a little too much on that. And it's easy for Randazzo.
Randazzo pushes the tempo.
And only Dempster there for it, flicked back by the DeSmet player. And now Cade Walsh heads it forward, but he's brought down by number 11, Dan Reardon. And free kick taken short by Edwards. Sapienza. Tem.
Dispossessed there.
Again, only substitution we have seen tonight for CBC has been Benoist. So Coach Mickler definitely knows his lineup here. Dempster trying to close it down, but Reardon finds Carson King. Loose touch, but he's able to regain. Now Dempster for Kurt Miller. Slide tackle from Russo. Miller can't find Bennett. Right in front of Bennett, not happy with the delivery from Kurt.
Oh, I think Bennett's saying, hey, just put it out there a little faster. You don't need that extra touch. Just put it out there for me.
Ball played into Mikkel, miscontrolled, but he does well to regain.
He's a wiry player. Oh,
yeah.
Nice little poke tackle there.
That was Lucas.
And there's Julian Bennett, a little aggressive at the beginning and holding her arms out well after the foul had already happened.
Again, one of these two teams, one of the top 4 teams in the area, CBC 2, DeSmet 4, will see their season end right here tonight on this field. And DeWeese, physical, beats King once, but coming up is Gruy. Edwards on the clearance. Gets good contact on that. This will be flicked on by Tem. Got a little too much of it. Can't win the second ball.
Yeah, you see Edwards is playing a little bit higher up now than he did in that first half. Can probably try to be more involved in the attacking play.
And we're going to have to see Cade Walsh do a little bit more defensive work at the base of the midfield to allow Jack Edwards that freedom. Of course, it's nice to have Edwards up there attacking, but Edwards and DeWeese have a great understanding as a defensive midfielder center back combination, so that you're giving up some minutes of that. But Dempster nutmegs. Dempster nutmegged Matt Russo there, and still Nick Dempster. This will be out for a CBC throw.
That was great 1-2 play between him and Julian Bennett.
It'll be a Dempster on the throw. Right to the feet of Mikkel. Mikkel battling it out with Lindell. As Kurt Miller dumps it in. Cleared out by DeSmet.
Ooh, that's over the head.
Yeah, over the head of Lindell. Here's Dempster. He's got Bennett. Julian Bennett on the right foot. Right-footed cross, and that is behind everything for a goal kick. Disappointing end result, but good pressure from CBC. We've seen a little bit more energy out of him, but I don't think quite enough for Coach Mickler's liking.
Yeah, a little bit more directed to the goal. Attacking players are moving off the ball, trying to create some space and some options for those diagonal balls.
Ball headed in the middle, Cade Walsh. Oof. And Cade Walsh went in for it. He is fouled by Nicolason, who's going to claim that Walsh is the guilty party. Not the way referee Jeff Pulley sees it. As Edwards miscontrols, as does Sapienza.
Oof.
And they're going to call Jack Edwards with a foul. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why. It looked like Carson King stepped on the ball as Edwards came into him. I think King was already on his way down, truth be told. At any rate, Gruy puts it in. Flicked on, Randazzo with an easy save. And again, looking to get rid of it quick.
Yeah, that's a nice.
This
is going to be dangerous here.
Dempster and McKell. Dempster, left foot!
And they're going to call him on the foul.
They are going to get a foul on Nick Dempster.
And I think Ned Dempster's more frustrated at missing that last shot, but.
And the player down looks like Matt Lucas. He's back on his feet. A little bit slow moving, but Matt Lucas appears to be okay. That's good. Wonderful direct kick from Randazzo sets up the pair. Who else? McKell and Dempster. I would imagine we'll see that again.
Yeah, I've seen that twice now from Nick Randazzo, collecting the ball and then quickly trying to push the tempo. Got all of that one and using the wind to good effect. High ball there.
Yeah, Randazzo can't bring that in. He's beaten by Lucas. And DeSmet looking to clear. This is Avi Wessa. 2 touches and a pass. That's a good pass. Finds Nicolason. Now Reardon.
Oh,
that's good skill. Sent McKell running in circles as Sapienza now battles Carson King.
Through the legs of Bennett, but
that ball played in. Nolan DeWeese was double teamed. Option in the middle. Nicolason is wide open in the middle. DeWeese heads back to Dempster.
Yeah, it was good communication there.
That is twice. DeSmet is putting 2 players on Nolan DeWeese. With a back 3, they're trying to draw those 2 outside center backs a little bit wide and isolate Nolan DeWeese. They're sending 2 players, usually one near, one far, and they're making DeWeese make a decision. There are runners, and there have been runners available in the middle for DeSmet. That's frightening if you're a CBC fan watching.
Open here.
Nicolason turns to goal, plays it out wide to Wessa. Wessa has King and Donlin in the middle. Coming up is Nicolason. Coming in from the side, Nick Gruy.
Nicolason's wide open.
And we got a goal kick going out as Wessa was steered down by Kurt Miller. Or correction, that is... Is that Kasich on as a substitution over there?
It might be. I can't see the number.
Numbers are very small, very far away. 28:30 to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. Randazzo's goal kick. I was going to say downwind, but the wind seems to have died down. That was mostly Randazzo.
Oh, nice touch here.
Right through the middle. Edwards tracking back.
Nice job by Edwards there to track back, use his body.
And he wins the ball. That was Alex Walters that he was
King is
chasing. Now Tem. Double teamed. It'll be out for a CBC throw. Thought that might have actually come off Tem last, but again, hard to see from up here.
Oh, there's a...
Yeah, ball played across, well dealt with by Burke, but here's McKell. He's got Dempster just inside of him, Bennett far side. And nothing doing.
Ooh, nice job there by Tem.
Good. Tem, he's got Dempster inside. Leaves it outside for McKell. McKell goes direct, trying to go to that far post. It is tipped by DeSmet. It will be a goal kick or corner kick.
I would not be surprised if Logan Payne got a fingertip on that and then the defender cleared it away from danger.
If so, it's a wonderful save.
I think that little pass from Tem had everyone fooled. I think people thought they were going to go to Dempster, and then all of a sudden Reese McKell flying in.
Good opportunity for the Cadets. Edwards trying to serve up another one. Ball bounces. McKell trying to turn. Wessa clears. Tem does well to get the shot away quick. It's blocked. And now Edwards closing down. Ball played in the middle. DeSmet needs to clear this. Kurt Miller stepping up. Finally played long for Sapienza. He's all on his own. And he dumps it back in. All Sapienza could really do was make sure he got good contact on the ball there. Here's Bennett chasing one down. There's his speed.
No, that's out.
No, it wasn't. Dempster heads it in.
The official had his flag up. He had his flag up before the cross was taken.
That is right in the corner. I cannot see.
I've got you covered, Tom.
I should stop. First I'm saying it's onside for Dempster. Then I'm saying it's in bounds. Why can't we just admit we don't know things, Tim? It did certainly look like it might have gone out.
Yeah, it's one of those close plays this nearsighted sideline official is right there every time.
Yep. That's Aaron Johansson. Mentioned him. Very young official, but very, very talented, very well thought of. And just a really nice guy. Athletic directors love having him. Gruy off of Kurt Miller. Gruy goes to ground again. Looks like he got ball cleanly. It will be a throw to CBC. Miller takes it, finds Gruy. Here's Miller. He's dragged down. And ball played right into the midriff of Lucas Payne. Now Deweese. Likes to see a throw in with a little more zip on it, give him a little more time, but Sapienza finds Tem. Great ball. Miscontrolled.
Tem was in between.
Yeah.
Do I play it straight back one time or do I settle it? And
Wessa does extremely well to find Reardon. Tem frustrated. Player who can get a little bit heated from time to time. Here's Nate Tem. Left foot. He's got Dempster in the middle. He's got Bennett going far post. He's got McKell coming in near. Ball played across. That's Burke clearing it out around Bennett. Closed down and late tackle. That was McKell. Came across with a full head of steam. A lot of contact there. Looked like it might have been a little foulish, but there is nothing called. Now McKell again. And the intensity starting to ratchet up. Edwards, can he get it on the right foot? He does. Edwards with the right. That was sailing a little bit, but he got decent contact on it. Substitutions for DeSmet. Coming on, we got Lawler. We have Russo. And it looks like number 18, Jack Knott, coming into the game for CBC.
Yeah, you saw Reardon when that ball fell. Reardon took a full head of steam to try to throw himself in front of it to keep that from going to goal. But
Dempster's header in. Headed out by Anderson. Dempster again.
Tried to embellish a foul out of not a lot of contact.
Yeah, it might have just been a little bit off balance. Now Dempster can't play it in. So DeSmet on the turn. Physical center forward play, another hallmark of their program. Good opportunity here for Linkogel, Sean Linkogel. And we'll see the quick kick again from Randazzo. This time it came off the outside of the foot a little bit. It will still find Tem, who heads it forward looking for McKell. Anderson's going to shepherd it back to Logan Payne.
Dempster's doing a hell of a job winning all of those balls in the air.
23 minutes to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. Still scoreless. We are in the second half of the Class 4 District 2 final. My name is Tom Eichwald. Alongside me, Tim Halfman-Morris, bringing you playoff soccer. I want to thank Randy Gardner, our fearless leader, drinking a nice hot chocolate up here in the press box.
We've got a sub here. Benoist is coming in. McKell's going to come to the outside, and Sam is going to stay in the middle.
As a central midfielder, McKell on the right wing, Dempster now the center forward. Also got a number of students making the broadcast possible tonight. Want to give them a shout. I got Mason Jenkins, Max Adamski, Joe Cunningham. I think I saw Charlie Hines around here somewhere. No, I'm having visions of Charlie. Charlie is one of our most dedicated students. Really, really a nice kid. He's been around and worked the broadcast for us on Tuesday. These games must be running together. Now Mason Jenkins and Randy Gardner conspiring against the commentary crew, whispering things in the box. Back to the game. DeSmet dumps it in long. This will be chased down by Colton Walsh. Now Carson King. Ball doing a lot of bouncing around, all kinds of space in the midfield. Nice job tracking back by Benoist. Could be an opportunity, though. Edwards clears, took it right off the foot of Randazzo, who's fuming. Correction, that was Sapienza.
Yeah. I think Sapienza at times just sees the ball and he just wants it out of there. Randazzo was probably screaming, "I've got it."
DeSmet's starting to show some danger on the counterattack. What you're seeing from DeSmet, they're exploiting the space in between the defensive midfielder, Jack Edwards, and the more advanced midfield and kind of attacking players of CBC, and they found some good space in there. Nice flick on, but unsuccessful from DeSmet. You see the idea. And now Kurt Miller, he's getting closed down by 3 Spartans. They are all over the place. Again, good energy from DeSmet. Ball played in the middle. Shooting opportunity. Not the greatest contact from Matt Russo, and that'll bounce into the arms of Randazzo. Hits this one a little better. Headed straight up. McKell coming in. Missed Burke. Now Benoist cutting in the middle. Missed a chance first half. This time he's going to leave it for Dempster. Dempster with the right. Take a deflection. You see how quickly DeSmet is closing down these shooters from CBC. Now Edwards. Wide to McKell. Back to the All-American. There you see why. Cuts inside. Left foot from Edwards. You saw the idea. That's touched by Logan Payne. That is touched by Logan Payne. That's a mental mistake from the goalkeeper. And it will be a corner kick to CBC.
That shot off of the less preferred left foot of Edwards, but he's probably looking around saying, hey, guys, go to that back post. Somebody's got to be running to that back post area.
And a little bit of indecision from Payne. Is this inside the post? Is it outside the post? Do I want to catch this? Do I want to let it go? And it results in a corner. Edwards delivers. Looking for Dempster. Dempster heads back down. It'll be Benoist. Inside. Ball bouncing around. Cade Walsh. The sophomore, almost the hero there, but good block from DeSmet. Now McKell. Cleared by DeSmet. And holding high for the Spartans is Alex Walters, who lays it back, and here they come. CBC was watching the ball, and they're getting numbers forward. This is Henry Lawler. Wide open man at the backside. Wide open man on the backside. That was Linkogel making a run. Also over there is Jack Knott. DeSmet are getting numbers forward so quickly. Really could cause some problems for this CBC backline.
Deweese, though, plays the hero there and is sprinted a solid 60 yards, wins the ball back, and then gets fouled. You don't like seeing him sprinting that far back, but he worked so hard to get back and play some defense.
He does. It would be nice to see some of the midfielders doing the same and shutting down, again, that gap that's opening up between the attacking midfield and the defensive unit. Like here, look at this space. Cade Walsh does a nice job of getting back, but wide open here on the far side. I have not seen Kurt Miller turn around to see that he's got Jack Knott closing in on him. Now finally Kurt Miller looks.
This game is starting to open up with 18 minutes left.
It is. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of the numbers that DeSmet is, moving forward. They're moving them forward. It's a little bit cheeky, to be honest with you. They're moving them forward when the ball is in the air, when the ball is in motion. CBC players looking at the ball, DeSmet looking forward at the goal. They're making those runs while CBC's distracted, and they're getting into some really, really good spaces. If you're CBC, yes, you got to defend those, but by the same token, they're starting to come out of their shape, starting to come out of their shell. Can you exploit that on a counter? Could be the game we're kind of transitioning into. Yeah, Tem getting fired up.
I will say one thing is it seems like CBC gets very much goal focused on all ends of the field, and they get caught watching that goal, seeing if something will happen. It looks like we have an injured DeSmet player who sat down in that tussle. Trainers going out.
It looks like, is that number 8, Alex Walters, I believe? I believe that's Alex Walters down. Oh, we have a second. The DeSmet student section appears to be Christmas themed. They must know that Christmas is coming, which means we're getting ready for the annual CBC auction. Mark your calendars and join us on Saturday, December 2nd for an evening of fun with the entire CBC family. Invitations will be mailed soon. We hope you'll make plans to celebrate with us. For more information or to make a donation, call Linda Knoll. That is Linda Knoll at 314-985-6094. Looks like Alex Walters is okay, which is good to see. Little break for these teams. DeSmet comes over to the bench, receives some instructions. CBC, that defensive and midfield unit, checking in with each other. You hope they're discussing the important matters.
I don't know if Walters took a knock. Looks like he's going through some concussion protocol. Mandatory now with any sort of head or neck injury that they see. He already has a bandage over that eye.
This will be a free kick going out for DeSmet.
Oh, good turn there.
Again, options back post.
There's the ball in.
There it is. He was wide open. Jack Knott. Difficult area, as you see Kurt Miller a little slow to get up.
Oof.
Yeah, we got a foul coming in against. It's the player who's in for Walters.
Number 7.
That is Matthew Young. Called for the foul. CBC free kick opportunity. A little too far out to shoot, one would think.
Looks like they're trying to set up a little play. Edwards isolated in the middle.
Ball comes in.
Oh, just too far, too much on that one.
Yep, Dempster can't head it back in. That ball was played in by Colton Walsh. Downwind, that thing just took off. Wessa and Gruey back into the game. 16:19 to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. Again, thanks to Pat and Lorraine Flax for making that possible. Ball cleared by DeSmet. So we got just under 16 minutes to play. So far, nothing separating these two teams. Again, DeSmet, the number 1 seed in the tournament. CBC, the number 2. As Cade Walsh plays it out wide left. This is Colton Walsh. Ball played in. Dempster's header off the football crossbar. Logan Payne was certainly interested. That's a good ball in from Tem.
Looks like we're going to have another sub here from DeSmet, number 4.
Yep, that's Cole Trembath.
Looks
And
like he's going to come in for Matthew Young.
And this will be a goal kick going out for Logan Payne. 0-0, probably about the right scoreline at this point, Tim?
Yeah, this has been just a back-and-forth battle. It's starting to open up a bit as teams have maybe slowed down a little bit. On the backside, starting to maybe legs coming into question. It is a little hotter than it was 2 nights ago. See if cramping becomes an issue.
A little warmer. One might say a perfect night to watch soccer. Could maybe use it a little bit cooler to play. DeSmet wearing the long sleeve shirts. CBC wearing the short sleeves. One of those nights where both are probably about equally comfortable.
Ooh, misplayed there.
Yep. And now uncomfortable moments for Cole Trembath.
But somehow gets it out.
Yeah, did a nice job to regain that.
And here's the possible quick counter from DeSmet.
Lindell plays it to the left-hand side, headed clear by Kurt Miller. Nick Gruey was in the neighborhood. Now Burke. Miller misses. And now Miller clears. This will be Lindell. CBC's they're not going to pressure. He's just going to watch that go out of bounds. And looks like good to see Alex Walters coming back into the game. Again, appeared to be injured. Came off, was evaluated. And he is back out there to a high five from Anderson. DeSmet getting everything situated for the throw. Nicolason. King. Headed back for Reardon. Colton Walsh in a foot race with Aviwesa. A lot of grabbing going on. That's a foul going out.
Yeah.
Aviwesa, the guilty party. DeSmet fans and coaches furious about that call.
On the step over, it's a really common time to reach out and grab some shirt, grab some body. And I think it's a common reaction when you're trying to stop. You use your arms to brace yourself, and you got a lot of jersey there, I think.
Flick on by Tem. Or correction, to Tem. Tem can't get it on the right. McKell with the left foot. Deflection. That one's out for a corner. Again, CBC catching DeSmet on the break a little bit, turning into a counterattacking game.
Yeah, really opening up.
Ball boy nicely positions the ball in the corner for Jack Edwards. I don't think that's exactly where he wants it, but
we're having Reese McKell come out. Julian Bennett coming in. Going to probably go right in front of the goalie.
Yep. He's going to wave his arms around like he does.
Looks like the two of them are going to have a discussion.
Edwards, backside. King heads out. Benoist pressuring. And Kurt Miller misses on the header.
That's dangerous for...
That is. I think that's just a miss hit.
Oh,
Sapienza miscontrols. Alex
there.
Walters, we've got a 2-on-1. Can Kurt Miller close? He does. That is vital from CBC's Kurt Miller. Sapienza came out. First touch was not good. And a dangerous situation. He tried to control when it might have been best just to put the laces through it.
Put the laces through it or get a head on it and put it way to the outside.
Yeah, just an awkwardly bouncing one for him.
Yeah, and that's what the offensive player for DeSmet was waiting for, is an awkward settle on that bouncing ball. Cleared out here.
And Deweese heads. Missed kick. Ball coming out. Dempster.
And here
up
comes
top.
Bennett. See if he
you know
gets
he's
going to
get to this. Trying to dump it in for Dempster. Anderson there. Heads it wide. Bennett. Now Dempster. Benoist. Back to DeSmet. Nicolason. Good pressure from Cade Walsh. He's a really impressive player, isn't he, Cade Walsh?
And here we go.
Ball played in for King. Deweese is going to beat him there, and he's going to clear. Good work by Deweese.
DeSmet really amping up this pressure.
And Deweese clears on attempt number 2. Dempster physical with Lindell there. Now here's Benoist in space. Nick Dempster. I don't think he was expecting that pass, and it was hit a little bit too far ahead of Nick Dempster.
Yeah.
But a good idea from Benoist.
That is a tough angle with Dempster taking the line he did. Maybe just wait a few seconds to let that ball kind of go in front of you and play it more to the left side in the direction of the run.
10 minutes to go here in this second half. Class 4 District 2 final.
Dempster winning that one.
CBC
sending it right back to sender.
CBC and DeSmet. If this game remains tied at the end of regulation, the rules would dictate 2 15-minute sudden death periods, sudden victory now. So 2 15-minute golden goal, sudden victory, whatever you're going to call it, periods. And if still tied after that, we go to the penalty kicks.
I think both teams are looking for that the game to end before that.
If you're CBC, it'd be nice to play a game that's under 110 minutes. Maybe even the advised 80 minutes. I think, but you're right. I think both teams looking for something decisive in regulation here. Ball still bouncing around. Cleared by Sapienza. That time he overhits it. Of course, earlier we're saying he should overhit it, and here we're saying he overhits it. You just can't win as a player. But, again, Josh, good composure. I was talking to him yesterday at lunch after the Tuesday game. I was talking about, how intense and how focused you have to be when your team's attacking to be able to keep the presence of mind and to sort of sniff things out at the back and shut down the counterattack. He's done that well. Did it well Tuesday, and he's doing it well again tonight. Edwards heads down. Bennett Jack Edwards again. Looking for the return pass to Julian Bennett. Can't find him. Good step by Kurt Miller. Miller inside.
Got some space.
He's got some room. Still Kurt Miller. Leaves it for Bennett. Bennett with the right-footed cross. Logan Payne comes for it and grabs it. Again, comfortable goalkeeping. Got to say, both keepers have made some solid saves. Neither's been asked to be spectacular, though both certainly have it in them. Year after year, it seems like the quality of goalkeeping in the MCC is just unreal. We saw a great performance from Marquette's goalkeeper as well on Tuesday. Seven minutes, 43 seconds to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. While we have a second, want to let you know, Cadet fans, if you're not protected, you want to call State Farm agent CBC alum Tim Kylo. If it can be insured, he wants to save you money on it. Just ask CBC Communications Director Pat Walsh. Yellow card for Nicolason.
I think this is for some extracurriculars after the play.
Yep, might have been talking a little bit, not sure exactly what that's for. But he'll come over to the sidelines, running right toward the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. Who wants to save you money on your insurance? Call Tim, 314-842-4442. Send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. So many sponsors help us out here. We got East Bay, the apparel provider of CBC. You can check them out, eastbay.com, help get some CBC apparel. We got Mercy Healthcare, Mercy Sports Medicine, who takes great care of our student athletes. Visit them at mercy.net. We got TJ's Pizza, feeding us pizza. We got Chick-fil-A feeding us chicken sandwiches. Next, we may need a gym or fitness center to sponsor us so we can work off the TJ's and Chick-fil-A. Throw-in comes in.
Oh, nice flick there, but unfortunately
Was a
behind
good
everybody.
Header. All is not lost, though, as CBC will get another throw. Nice grab from the photographer, one-handed. He's only got $15,000+ of camera equipment in the other hand. Why use two?
Here, we're going to see a little bit more of that quickness from DeSmet.
Now Miller.
Oh.
Carson King in space. Sapienza comes to close. Carson, he's trying to get on the right foot. There it is. Comfortable for Nick Randazzo, but does well to hold on to that. If you bobble it, you're in all kinds of trouble. Does well to smother it. Sometimes you see the keepers kind of flop on top of the ball. Kind of looks unnecessary, but what that is it's absolutely essential for every keeper to be having the weight forward. You want to attack the ball. So when the ball's low like that and your weight's forward, that's the way it naturally carries you. And if the effect of that is that it brings you down on top of the ball for extra security, that's the price you have to pay. So good technique from Nick Randazzo.
Edwards collecting it here. Out wide ball, long ball for Tem. Tem trying to play the position game. Able to keep it from being a goal kick.
It will be a
throw-in.
Yeah, throw-in coming out. As we see a substitution coming back in is Matt Russo. And making way for him, Michael Donlin. Inside of 6 minutes to go in regulation. Again, both teams staring right in the face of two 15-minute sudden victory periods. Throwing down the line from DeSmet. Sapienza.
Got beat there by Carson King.
Yeah, really, really good physical play from Carson King. If you are a center back, Michael Donlin putting the body on the line to keep that in. There's a ball boy right behind him with the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that was entirely necessary, but the crowd appreciates it, his teammates appreciate it, and we appreciate it here on CSN. But to finish the point,
if you're a center back here,
yes,
you're taking too much time
distracted
on the ball. Too much time on the ball. Carson King is closing down that space a lot quicker than I think the CBC center backs are able to recognize, and he's putting a lot of pressure. So you have to just sort of pick up that mental pace, do a little bit more directness, getting the ball out of that danger area upfield or out to the outside, like away from Carson King, because he's creating a lot of problems.
Yeah, and that is not just Carson King, though he does it very well. That has been very much the mold DeSmet wants in their footballers for years. And ball dumped long. Randazzo's going to come get this.
Yeah, he's been playing a little bit further out. I think you heard your broadcast last night. He's been
Possibly
coming out a little bit earlier, collecting it.
Really good goalkeeper, Nick Randazzo is. Came back from academy this year. He's been solid. Earned the captain's band during that CBC tournament with some stellar performances. As you see, DeSmet looking to get forward here. Nothing doing, says Nolan DeWeese.
And that's an example of that. Nolan DeWeese feeling the pressure right there on his right-hand side, just sends it. Instead of usually trying to settle it and make a play to CBC feet.
Benoist doing battle over there. Still Benoist.
Ooh,
what a great
nice
fight from
move.
Sam Benoist. Cuts it into the middle. Dempster would have had to hit it with the left. Still Dempster, maybe. No. Swarmed by Spartans. Now Sapienza.
Yeah, he did a nice job keeping the turn from happening, but
he did.
Unfortunately, he's isolated Nolan with Carson King.
And Sapienza back again. Miller goes in on King and misses. This is Matt Russo. Carson King, leading scorer for DeSmet, can't keep it in bounds.
And again, DeSmet.
There's space on the counter.
DeSmet finding the space on the counter.
Inside of 3 minutes to go now in regulation. Now starting to get toward decision time. You know, at what point do you keep sending all those central midfielders forward? At what point do you maybe think about adding a little bit more protection at the back?
There it is again. Too slow from Kurt Miller.
Yep. And by contrast, good pressing from Payne.
Kurt Miller's a little confused on where to go with this ball.
Down the line, son. Down the line. There it is. And Edwards trying to dispossess Payne, but the Spartan keeps it now. King trying to turn Nolan DeWeese. Not easily done. Sapienza in support.
Ball bouncing around.
Bounce forward. He's on sides. That's Gruy. Gruy with the right. That did not take a CBC deflection. Looked like it might have taken a faint one, but our official was right there.
I will say this. These DeSmet, they need to be more tightly marked by the CBC defense. They're getting way too much space. And once you let these speedsters turn and go towards goal, they're kind of getting the upper hand on the steps on the CBC defensive pairing.
DeWeese gives it away off the goal kick with 1:30 to go.
Wind has actually changed direction here. The flags are now going towards the CBC goal, possibly pushing DeSmet more towards goal. It's one of the common occurrences here, the wind changing direction.
Yeah, it makes club selection difficult. And here's the cross. Oh.
And there's an example of that wind.
I don't think that was all the wind, Tim. I think that one might not have gotten started on line. But with 1 minute to go, Edwards is going to come back and take this one. Third different goal kick taker tonight.
I think you would say that one went a little bit off the toe of the club.
It was. It was.
In the toe of the foot.
Perhaps. It was the little toe, I think that one hit.
Here, ball bouncing. Less than a minute here. CBC kind of scrambling defensively.
There are 36 seconds. Can Dempster give the CBC Cadets one more attack? Now Tem, 31 seconds. Nate Tem trying to find Dempster. Can't find him. Here come the Spartans.
Yeah, there's still time here. CBC needs to start defending.
Yep. Need to get back. Tired legs out there for CBC. 20 seconds.
Ooh, offsides.
And offsides. DeSmet a little bit.
Ooh, Nolan DeWeese.
That was close.
Sapienza got caught flat-footed with a 2-on-1.
Yeah, Robert Schaefer over there saw the offsides. It was very, very close from up here. Sapienza is going to give this a ride with 1 second to go. We are bound for overtime. We're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we'll have overtime soccer in the Class 4 District 2 final. You are watching the Cadet Student Network.
Let State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo protect what matters most to you. Whether it's auto, home, renter's business, or life insurance, for more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients manage risk and realize their dreams. Tim is a member of the CBC Alumni Hall of Fame and is a presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. He prides himself on serving and protecting our CBC community, and he can protect you too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. That's right, Tim Kylo can save you money. Learn more online anytime at timkylo.com.
Welcome back to the booth, everybody. We have had a quick break here, and we are ready for more soccer. Again, 80 minutes, not able to separate CBC and Marquette on Tuesday, nor can they separate CBC and DeSmet tonight. It has been an even game. If we look at the story of the game, there really hasn't been much between the two teams. You'd have to say that the biggest story in the late second half was CBC getting a little bit tired out there and DeSmet starting to find a lot of opportunities on the counterattack. CBC really need to start possessing a little bit more and being a little bit more disciplined in the midfield if they're going to come away with this one. DeSmet is ready to play. We saw them come out early at the start of the second half, and now at the start of overtime, CBC using a bit more of their break. But it has been thrilling so far. I want to thank you for joining us here on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. Alongside me is Tim Halfman-Morris. And we are ready to go. A lot of nervous spectators around here. I think the least nervous people here are probably the players. But it should be a thrilling overtime. Minute to go on the clock, which gives us a moment to thank some more of our sponsors. We want to say thanks to the folks at Mercy Sports Medicine for continuing to take great care of our student athletes. Mercy's ranked as a top-tier Catholic health system nationally and offers the highest quality health care for students and families. We know this firsthand at CBC. Athletic trainer Kristen Jeans and the team at Mercy take great care of our young men. To learn more, visit www.mercy.net. Also want to mention East Bay, who is now the official apparel provider of Cadet Athletics. East Bay and Under Armour keep our players and coaches looking good on the field, and they can make you look good too. Keep your eye out for CBC online team stores or shop anytime at eastbay.com. Again, the overtime rules tonight, 2 15-minute sudden victory periods. One goal ends this game. So unless this game goes to penalties, it will be a 1-0 result. And the losing team sees their season come to an end in the district round. The winner advances and will play in the sectional game on the 31st. That is next Tuesday, I believe, against the winner of Jackson and Seckman, if I remember correctly. We're underway. CBC starts off with it. Looks like an unchanged lineup for CBC. The 8-minute break being enough to get him rested.
Oh, mistake here.
Yeah, given away by Edwards. Deweese. Dispossessed by King. King with an opportunity. Tackle. It's Gruey. Deflection over. It'll be a corner kick. But CBC dodges a bullet there. Given away by Edwards. And King and Gruey just a little bit too much for the CBC defense there. Not the start you want if you are wearing purple tonight.
Yeah, this is very dangerous. DeSmet getting the better of the play for the last 10 minutes of that second half and just trying to use that momentum here, pushing forward.
And here comes the corner. It'll be a right-footed corner from Gruey. Near post for Wessa. That is wide, and it is a goal kick going out. Again, important to note that we do not change directions between the second half and overtime. So CBC still going with the wind at their backs, and DeSmet going into a breeze. The wind has reverted to its original direction.
The wind tends to swirl down here at W. Michael Ross Stadium.
Headed on by King, only for Deweese.
Yeah, nobody's moving to try to get the ball for CBC.
No, it's a tired team.
Yeah.
Bennett cuts inside. Dispossessed
Oh,
by
great move
Russo.
here.
This is Matt Russo. Pass to Nicolason. He's got options in the middle. Instead, he goes it himself. Scores 3 points, but in the wrong sport. And that is going to be going out for a goal kick. And again, Nick Randazzo has his choice of soccer ball. This will be taken by Sapienza. 2 minutes into the first overtime period. The balance of play has been all DeSmet in the last 2 minutes. CBC contributing very little. Reardon finds Wessa out there on the right. And that looks like it went out of bounds. It'll be a CBC throw.
Yeah, CBC, I don't know where they need to find some energy. Looks like we've got a sub here, Reese McKell coming back on.
for Julian Bennett.
Looks like CBC using that sideline to gain some more field position.
Ball played in by Colton Walsh.
Yeah, but nobody's moving. I
mean, it's like they're running low on energy and ideas. They've tried it all. Except you'd like to see him try a few more shooting attempts. But not good viewing right now if you are a CBC fan. Opportunities for DeSmet in overtime, and so far no real possession even for CBC. As Edwards lets that one bounce. Tracking back is Cade Walsh. Benoist in the midfield with Cade Walsh and Jack Edwards. And here is Edwards looking for Dempster. Cleared out by Anderson. Now Sapienza. Closed down by Nicolason. Nice job by Kurt Miller to get over there, and he's fouled. As Nicolason goes through his back. High five between the two players. That's what you want to see. But another dangerous moment for the CBC backline. They are really feeling the pressure right now. And again, a lot of subdued faces on that CBC side. Got to wander around a little bit during the break.
It's a lot of tension within this stadium.
There is. There is. And, of course, again, we talked about at the start of the game, it's a rivalry game. It's a district final. It's an elimination game. It's got all the trappings, but just none of the goals so far. Dempster tries to play it in. That's a tired attempt. And now King. Nicolason dropping off of him. That's going to find DeWeese. Goes very direct, looking for either Reese McKell or Nick Dempster. As Benoist. Good spark from Benoist. Looking backside for McKell, but that's going to be too far for him. And it will be a goal kick. Nice burst from Benoist there. Just couldn't find the ball to match. That was a ball intended for a Julian Bennett type speed.
Looks like we're having sub Nicolaisen sort of limping off took he took a shot.
He's holding the heel or the ankle. Now Dempster. Sloppy from DeSmet. Give it away to Nick Dempster. Not the player you want to give it to. Now Nate Tem. He's dispossessed. Cade Walsh steps up. That's going to be out. It will be a DeSmet throw, though. Got to keep DeSmet in this area of the field. You can't let him get all the way down the field in 2 or 3 touches, as they've done all too easily here in the first 6 minutes of overtime.
It's a lot of space for DeSmet players around the field, and they're finding that space and then using their energy and their legs here. An example of that.
Yep, Gruey in the middle. Gruey's closed down by Kurt Miller, who does well. A couple key interventions from Kurt Miller so far in this half. Throw in from Gruey. Doesn't find its way back to him. Thanks again to Kurt Miller. Lindell's header up in the air. Now Cade Walsh trying to go over the top, but again Lindell. Again Cade Walsh. Somebody else gets to touch it now. That's Russo. And then Reardon. Give it away to CBC, and Nate Tem trying to make something happen over on that far side. It'll be a DeSmet throw. Substitution, Michael Donlin is going to come back in. And he's going to give a break to, I believe that's number 15, Matt Russo.
Russo's put in a lot of work in the middle of the field, creating some of these scoring chances.
Well, you talk about the intensity from the DeSmet forwards, but let's not forget that intensity is absolutely worthless if you don't have a midfield that's sprinting box to box. And DeSmet's midfield certainly has done that. Players like Reardon.
Here's a
Sapienza loses out. Opportunity. Ball in the middle. Saved by Randazzo. Rebound is cleared. Randazzo with the save. Way too easy to find a shooting opportunity there for Carson King after Sapienza missed. But how big is that save from Nick Randazzo?
That was a huge save. Huge opportunity. Almost a golden opportunity for DeSmet there as the ball sits across.
The Cadet Student Network will begin its search for the official defibrillator of CSN broadcasts. At this rate, we may need one. 7.5 minutes to go. in this first overtime period. Nick Randazzo right now the hero for CBC. His sprawling midriff, the only reason the Cadets still have a soccer season at this moment. Lindell mishits it. Is Wessa going to be able to keep it in? Probably. He's got good speed. He's got good touch. As does Nate Tem. Tem.
A little too
Wessa
heavy
recovers
on that.
nicely. And that's Jackson Anderson sliding over to help him. Is that ball going to stay in? It will.
Yes.
Very relieved ball boy. Nothing good over that fence, folks. We say that with full affection for our neighbors at Mobap. But in between us, there is a chasm. Probably with a lot of Derby stars in it.
Well, this ball's still in.
Yeah, brought down by Dempster. Now Benoist. Edwards. Kurt Miller looking far side. He's got Dempster and Tem over there. Ball controlled, and it'll be played out. A little bit of a risky control there by, I think that's Walters. Now Dempster. Left foot played in. It'll be a corner kick. CBC starting to enjoy a little bit of possession. Sapienza last man. Nolan DeWeese is going to come up, put himself in the box. Big frame, you would expect that.
Yeah,
and
it looks like
Kurt
all
Miller.
the big players are going into the box.
Yeah, Kurt Miller and Sapienza at the back for CBC. Under 6 minutes to go. Edwards with the right foot. Ball played in. Headed in by Colton Walsh. Cleared by DeSmet. Not very far, though. McKell tries to get on the end of it. Tem plays it straight up in the air. Kurt Miller coming up. Needed to either come for that or stay, and he got caught in no man's land. And as a result, Carson King is in the space. And we've got runners from DeSmet. Tired legs from CBC having a hard time getting back. Opportunity for DeSmet. Gruey, save Randazzo, save Randazzo.
Randazzo coming up huge twice.
Kurt Miller makes the mistake. He comes and doesn't finish the job.
Quickly taken by DeSmet.
And that'll be a corner for DeSmet. Nervy stuff for CBC. Kurt Miller comes out, gets pulled out of position, stops, realizes he's not going to win the ball. Carson King, very alert, sees the space in behind him, and that's where that chance came from CBC for DeSmet. And again, Randazzo comes up big, under 5 to go in the overtime. Corner kick, right-footed from Gruey. And that is straight over everybody, I think. It is going out. A Spartan head somehow found its way to that, and it will be a CBC throw. Nick Randazzo. You got to say he's done some impressive goalkeeping, but a little bit slow on the trigger there from some of those DeSmet players. I think there were so many of them in there. It was a matter of who was going to hit it. Who wants to be the hero? And as a result, the only hero is the Cadet goalkeeper at the moment. That will probably change. In fact, it will change in this game. We know it won't end in a tie.
Julian Bennett now in on that outside.
Yeah, good pressure there from Bennett on Walters. Throw in for the Cadets. Edwards, all kinds of space in the middle. He'll be closed down by the time he gets this, though. Going over to that preferred right-hand side, Carson King's going to make sure he's back and denying Edwards any sort of comfort on the ball. Miller dumps it in. Julian Bennett touches inside.
And there's offsides, says the official.
Yep, we have a flag up. Yeah, Aaron Johansson, the assistant referee, did put the flag up for offside. Jeff Pulley didn't see him right away.
I think everyone's a little surprised. I think Julian Bennett was offsides, came back onsides as the ball was in the air, and then played the ball. So
all things being equal, the attacking opportunity gives way for CBC, and now we have DeSmet going out. Much needed chance to catch our breath up here.
Another bouncing ball, and CBC just kicking it, not making a clearance.
Kurt Miller did hit his hand.
Hit his hand.
Unlucky, but a handball nonetheless, and CBC really hanging together with threads at this point. See a few players stretching out there. Looks like Nick Burke, or Kyle Burke rather, making sure he's loose for DeSmet. Numbers up. Instructions coming in. They want an in-swinger out of Michael Donlin. Donlin delivers. It should be Randazzo's.
Ooh.
That looked scary from up here.
Oh, man, that was just cruising.
The only comfort I had was Nick Randazzo not leaping for that, but that certainly looked like it could have snuck its way into the top corner. Now, I will say, if you're going the other way and you're going downwind, or you got the wind blowing in towards the goal, that's one of those that can drift in the corner.
Yeah, that's just drifted a little too far, but there were DeSmet players there. Randazzo was all over that corner, but those are scary when that ball is sort of knuckling and.
1 minute, 47 seconds on the Cadet Colonel clock.
Ball here.
Ball played over the top for Dempster in a foot race with Logan Payne. Logan Payne goes high and goes right into Dempster's head. Nick Dempster a little slow to get up, but he appears to be okay. Is he going to have to make way for a concussion protocol? No.
No. That's a tough play. Nick Dempster did not foul. He came to a complete stop. But the goalie has the right of way.
The CBC fans, the student section, doesn't like that no call. They think it might have been a foul on Payne going high. As we see the cut inside, King, shot opportunity. Sapienza, confusion. Again, Randazzo gathers. I don't know why he's going quick when you only got two players forward, but he does. Flicked on by Bennett. And now Edwards. Ball played into Dempster. Flick on. You got Bennett over there. Now Benoist battling his numerical counterpart Reardon. And now Wessa in a battle of the prime numbers as Bennett gets onto it. Edwards. Is he going to go for it with the left? No. Ball played wide. Back in from Colton Walsh. Headed clear by DeSmet. Walsh may get another go at this with 30 seconds to go in the overtime period. Avi Wessa down at the far side. CBC not going to stop unless the official tells them to. And that ball is cleared out of bounds, so we're going to get a stoppage with 19.8 to go in the period. Avi Wessa down on the far side. Just to go back to the contact we saw between Dempster and Payne, goalkeepers are taught when you go up for it, the knees propel you, but you are defenseless. The legs are really the only protection that you have as a goalkeeper. So it's not nothing dirty from Logan Payne. It's physical. I don't think either player minds the contact given the types of players they are. But I think it's good goalkeeping from Logan Payne, and I think it's good attacking pressure from Dempster. Wessa is over there being attended to. He's on his feet talking to CBC trainer Kristen Jeans.
I saw a lot of players start to try to stretch out those calves. We might have some cramping as we are deep into quickly approaching the second overtime period.
20 seconds away from 95 minutes gone. Carson King, he's got numbers alongside of him. Oof. Nice job by Colton Walsh tracking back. And now battling with Michael Donlin. 2 clearances by Colton Walsh. 1 second to go, and that's going to be it for the first period of overtime. Wow.
Looks like we're going to have a 5-minute break. I need a break.
I need a break, too. We're going to take a quick break here, let you hear from some of our sponsors while we regain composure and any semblance of normal blood pressure. We'll be right back on the Cadet Student Network.
Let State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo protect what matters most to you. Whether it's auto, home, renter's, business, or life insurance, for more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients manage risk and realize their dreams. Tim is a member of the CBC Alumni Hall of Fame and is a presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. He prides himself on serving and protecting our CBC community, and he can protect you too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. That's right, Tim Kylo can save you money. Learn more online anytime at timkylo.com.
Inhale and exhale. Going through our breathing exercises up here in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth, trying to settle down after CBC's season and playoff hopes were saved not once but twice, point blank, by Nick Randazzo. Tom Eichwald alongside Tim Halfman-Morris getting ready for the final act in the drama that is the CBC DeSmet Class 4 District 2 final championship game. It has been scoreless so far, but not short on action. What are we looking at, Tim?
We're looking at tired legs on both sides. Avi Wessa dealing with some cramping, trying to get water in so he can possibly come out here. CBC having to dig deep. They're using every single minute of this break right now, getting ready for the second half. But now I think with the wind kind of blustery, changing direction, CBC is maybe going to hopefully use the momentum, the energy of the field to get it down towards the DeSmet end.
And just also, I think, not only just trying to get every bit of rest they could, but also trying to make sure DeSmet's got to stand there and wait. They came out of their team meeting real fired up. And if you were CBC, you want to let that momentum kind of peter out a little bit if you can. But given the stakes, I don't think there will be any petering out of momentum. 15 minutes to go, barring any finding of the back of the net that would shorten this game. Ball brought down by Curtin Miller. Played long into the corner right away by DeSmet. They're trying to put CBC in a spot of bother right off the start. And now John Geerling in for CBC for a little bit of freshness in the midfield as Tem turns it over. Gearling, the only change I see to the CBC lineup. Carson King.
Oh, here's a chance.
Yeah, Edwards doing a nice job tracking back. And he finds Tem. Tem, Edwards. Edwards has Bennett alongside in the center of midfield. Trying to find Colton Walsh and just misses him. He's frustrated Colton wasn't running.
Yeah, I think he wanted Colton Walsh working going down the field.
Deweese is going to have to come over and deal with this, and he does off the Josh Sapienza header. Good understanding between the two of them. With a minute gone here in the second overtime period. Ball goes back into play. Interesting to note, I didn't notice this, I just assumed, but Nick Dempster not on the field.
I think that's the Gearling sub is for Dempster. Dempster was also dealing with some cramps, constantly stretching his calves out during every break of play. So my guess is, as this overtime goes hopefully longer, he might come in for the last portion of it.
Ball played in, punched by Randazzo, but falls to Gruy. CBC trying to clear. Gearling making himself a nuisance. Alex Walters closed down by Edwards. And now here's McKell. He's got Bennett middle. Ball played through to Julian Bennett. Can he be the hero twice? Sliding tackle from Jackson Anderson. Julian Bennett that close to 2 clinching goals in 3 days.
Fantastic play there.
That was.
Fans a little frustrated, thought that Julian Bennett was offsides.
No,
but I think he was just barely on.
I think it was a correct no call. Corner kick, Edwards. Logan Payne ranges out. Gearling was teeing up on that one, but nice job by, I think that was, might be Jack Knott over there, number 18.
Yep,
no, that was number 16, Donlin, clearing that.
Looks like McKell is going to take a breather. That was a very nice ball from McKell to open up that entire play.
It was. Great vision. You could see it developing, and sometimes it looks so obvious where the ball should go from up here, but down in the field it's hard to pick out. He was nicely aware of his surroundings, and he was able to put the ball exactly where he wanted to. So the first chance of this overtime period goes CBC's way.
CBC looking to try to get the ball in the middle, but there's not any really attacking players in the middle of the field.
No, they're concentrated on the short side.
Edwards sitting at his usual post at the very top of the box.
Yep. Gearling leaves it for Tem.
Oof, and that's a misplay off the face.
It is, off the face, and you can see the corner kick. It's a double whammy.
And here, let's see. All of the tall trees go into
they do.
Into the box here.
In the lumberyard. Edwards with the right. That's in, backside. Dempster back into the game. Can't get on the end of that. Dempster physical. Ooh, Colton Walsh on the turn. That was Dempster being very physical with Lucas Payne. Ooh, and Carson King goes right onto the ankle of Sapienza. Don't think it was dirty.
Ooh, miscommunication here, and Deweese is going to give it just a ride.
That's right. It's the right decision.
Edwards, ooh, nice ball here.
Dempster inside. Dempster's got Bennett with him. Nick Dempster, can he keep this in?
I don't think
no,
he has
it'll
to,
be a corner.
But it's a corner.
Applause from the CBC side of the stadium. Signs of life after so nearly being put out in the first overtime period. A little bit of energy now behind CBC. Edwards. Backside. Up for it was Dempster, and that's going to be a goal kick.
Edwards has been given a little bit too much sauce on these corner kicks, and they're going over everyone's head.
Well, sometimes when you're tired, you try to overcompensate. You compensate for tired legs, and you kind of overdo it.
Overcorrect. And
inside of 10 minutes to go in play here. Again, still tied after this overtime period. We go to penalty kicks. Julian Bennett, another chance to be the hero again, crosses it in.
But nobody's home.
Nobody was there. Tem was going back post, and Cade Walsh didn't have time to get up there. Dempster takes down, I believe that was King. That was not King, that was Lawler. And Dempster getting a talk to. A lot of the fans want to see a card. Dempster already on a yellow. I think that's the warning. It's got to be the last straw. I think next thing Dempster does, he's got to be really, really concerned. That was probably the, I don't want to send anybody off in a game of this magnitude, but you do that again, I won't hesitate talk. Donlin brings it down. Colton Walsh tracks back, hits the arm of Donlin. Inadvertent, I think, says the official. CBC not happy with the no call. Options in the box for DeSmet. Nolan DeWeese with the tackle. That is a vital, vital challenge from Nolan DeWeese.
And he works really hard to keep that from being a corner kick.
It is.
Clears that off, but quickly taken by DeSmet.
That's
and
Gruy.
Nolan DeWeese throwing his body in there to get it out. Bennett nicely weighted pass.
Dempster.
Dempster working
One-on-one
really
with
hard.
Anderson.
Oh, and he gets dispossessed.
Reardon. Still Reardon. Cut inside. Good defending from DeWeese. He's been immense in the last minute or two. And Dempster tracking back. 8 minutes to go here in this second overtime period. District final. Everything on the line for both of these teams. Throw in. Brought down by Tem. Brought down by Geerling, looking over the top to Tem, but he wasn't making the run. And DeSmet will get a chance to reset. They're going to play it long and direct. Dempster's header. Again, Geerling trying to bring that down. Miscontrols. This is King.
Oh, I can't let him turn.
No. DeWeese diving in a little bit, but he's able to recover. Geerling.
Good turn.
Geerling fouled. Advantage called.
That's going to be called every time from behind.
It is. And even, to be honest with you, even if that tackle, which did win the ball, is not a foul, the advantage dies.
Yeah.
Jeff Pulley tries to allow the advantage ceases, and whether there's a second foul or not, that is the call. I believe this is Kurt Miller over there on that right side. He's going to give this one a ride, probably looking diagonal, looking at that back side. 7 minutes to go in the overtime period, flicked on by Colton Walsh.
But nobody's going to the goal. Everyone's standing still.
No, I think he missed that one a little. I think he wasn't aiming that directly at Logan Payne. I think he was aiming a little bit more out into the mix. Bennett trying to chase down Walters. Substitutions now as Nicolason and Wessa, who again went off injured. Good to see him back. And the players making the way off, Nick Gruy and number 19, Lucas Payne. Both of them put in a very good offensive shift.
Looks like Wes is going to stay here on this near sideline, his preferred right side.
Avi, the junior midfielder, been in the squad since his freshman year. Really turned into a wonderful player. Here is Avi Wessa.
He's going to go to the corner.
Yeah, he's trying to take Colton Walsh wide. Good job by Walsh against a speedier player to hold his ground.
Yeah, he used his body position well to sort of corral Avi out of bounds. Ooh, unfortunate read there by
Julian Bennett, and it will be a CBC throw going out. Ball boy provides, and Colton Walsh finds Julian Bennett. That will be a throw-in. Might have hit the hand, but there's absolutely nothing Avi Wessa can do about that, so no foul. Throw in.
Back up, says the official.
Yep. And he'll throw it in from where he was anyway. Played out by Walters. CBC throw. 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go in this second overtime period. Again, more positive in this period than in the first one if you're a CBC fan. More stressful if you're clad in the white and maroon.
There. Oh, and misplayed as well.
Oh, and that was Henry Lawler.
He had lots of field in front of him. A little bit of tired legs and miscommunication. Sapienza was expecting movement upfield. Not happening, says Miller.
Nope. King Sapienza closes down nicely. Josh has had a good game, couple nervy moments, but I think everybody's had those tonight. Dempster, one-on-one with Walters. Dempster through, not sure who touched that last. This will be going out. It will be a throw, not a corner, though. As Dempster's able to get a touch on it, will be a very, very deep defensive throw by Walters. He's going to bring it up another 10 yards. Every soccer player on the face of this earth would do the same thing. And does it again. And now Nolan DeWeese, 4 minutes.
Chip shot there.
Yeah, it was. Out off of DeSmet. DeSmet trying to make a substitution, as is CBC. Looks like Benoist is going to check back into the game. And Benoist is going to come on for Bennett. And are we going to see a straight swap? We will, with Benoist playing wide on the left. Throw in from Colton Walsh. Jack Edwards has room to turn onto that right foot. Looks in for Tem, just a little bit too much on it. Just a little off on these passes from Edwards here in this overtime period. Again, just fatigue. Logan Payne. That one's high. Wonderful control by Carson King. That's hard to do. Ball played back in, and who else? Sapienza there. Mishandles it, but Nolan DeWeese there to back him up.
I think Sapienza was expecting King to lunge in. And King, very savvy player, makes Sapienza make a move and then just takes it from him.
Again, Sapienza's putting himself in the same positions that he did against Marquette. It's just the increased physicality against DeSmet that's causing some of the problems. Benoist. Cutting inside, going on the left. Benoist through, passes it, Dempster with the left, and that's blocked. Benoist, the better left-footed player of the two. You might have liked to just see him rip one. Hindsight is quite good, as the saying goes. Loosely. Logan Payne smothers that one with 2.5 to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. And down into do-or-die time for both of these teams.
Nicely
Ball
taken
played
down.
over the top. It'll be Dempster in a foot race with Anderson. Dempster!
Oh, and he backed off that one. He backed off.
He did. The only other option was going right through Logan Payne, but when you're on a yellow card and you've been warned.
Yeah, and you've already had one bad collision.
Yes.
So he backed off. Smart move there. You don't
Yes,
want
it
to
was.
see. Oh,
I thought just for a second he might have been able to get his head on it.
Benoist here battling, trying to get the ball back. Does.
He wins it from Walters. Still Benoist. Good job by Sam Benoist. Fresh legs in the midfield paying off. Reardon dispossessed by Benoist. Benoist is clattered into. Advantage, says the referee. Nate Tem over here to the near side. He's got Dempster. Dempster has John Geerling in the middle, but he plays it back for Colton Walsh.
Oh, and to the All-American.
And DeSmet very wary of Jack Edwards. 1.5 to go. Pass inside. Colton Walsh, left foot.
Oh,
You could see what he was doing. It had outside of the left foot slicing in, written all over it. But there's a reason those are highlight goals. It's because they're very hard to do.
got a DeSmet player on the turf here.
They're not stopping the clock. Well, they're still setting up the goal kicks. There's no reason to, as this is going to be kicked with about a minute to go here in the second overtime period. Penalties looking likely.
This is going to be the wildest minute.
It will be. I don't think either one of these teams wants to go to penalties. Geerling.
Going towards that corner.
Yep. John
Trying
Geerling
to
going to
fight
the corner.
for it.
Cleared by DeSmet. CBC needs to get a ball back in.
Ball
40
boy
seconds.
does his job.
Into the middle. Edwards closed down from behind. Now Dempster, right foot, long distance. Oh, off the football crossbar. 40 seconds left. Opportunities dwindling. You might as well. That ball kicked out of play by DeSmet.
I think
A ball boy makes up for the, I'm sure, error of touch.
that ball was tattooed and just dipped a little too late, I think.
It did. And DeSmet's going to take their time getting this ball back in. They're in no rush. 6 seconds. And they managed to kill about 15 seconds just waiting to get the goal kick back in. And that's going to do it for overtime. We are bound for penalty kicks here at W. Michael Ross 66 Stadium. I had a sneaking suspicion that this was what was going to happen tonight. My prediction was 0-0 coming to overtime.
Oh, my goodness.
So I guess I'll start drawing out the penalty chart on the rosters.
Just like you did yesterday.
Just
no,
like,
2 days ago.
Just like I did on Tuesday.
We've been here before. DeSmet's captains are slow to come out. We're going to have to decide which goal we're going to be shooting at and the order, who's going to go first. If I was going to guess, CBC probably wants it to happen in their own end.
Yeah, in front of their own fans. That's what they did on Tuesday as the home team. They went down there. The DeSmet fans gathering on the fence. The athletic department and the principal, Tim Seymour, not happy about that. That is right along that front fence. They're going to say there's a student section for a reason.
Marquette did the same thing.
They did?
And it did not really work out for them.
Same result. So Edwards and Dempster are out there for CBC. Jackson Anderson, the captain representative for DeSmet. And looks like they are going to go for the goal in front of the CBC fans. Handshakes. And we're getting set to go. Tim, do you think either team is happier with the penalties? A loaded question, I'm sure.
I think they both wanted to avoid it again. CBC has been here before all season. I am unsure. I'm unsure about DeSmet. I think DeSmet had the advantage going into that second overtime and then gave up a lot of momentum.
They did, and they had their foot on the gas. CBC tried to ice them a little bit. Remember, DeSmet was out raring to go at the start of the second overtime period, but CBC took every minute of the break just to try to, settle the nerves a little bit, as well as get a little bit of extra rest. And they were able to come out swinging in the that second overtime period. Good chances for CBC, just went begging. Again, a reminder that the only reason we're still here, and I'm not on Highway 40 driving home at this point, is because of Nick Randazzo in that first overtime period making 2 point-blank saves that has kept CBC in this. So near to ending this game in that first overtime period when they were so dominant. DeSmet is going out to face penalties against CBC. Talk briefly about these two goaltenders, Logan Payne and Nick Randazzo, the senior for CBC, the junior for DeSmet. Both have been good. Logan Payne, yes, he's only a junior, but very, very experienced goalkeeper, a big fella, and he has shown himself to be very quick. Randazzo is something of a penalty specialist, I would say. He's made some phenomenal saves. We saw him do it against Chaminade early in the season, and we saw him do it on Tuesday against Marquette, saving multiple penalties. He saved 2 on Tuesday. This is something that he takes great pride in, and it's something he should take great pride in. Logan Payne I've not seen in a penalty shootout, so I can't really speak to that. But I've got to imagine that for these goalkeepers, you got nothing to lose. Probably going to see a high five between them, a lot of respect within the goalkeepers union.
Now, it looks like it's going to be the same order as Marquette, with Edwards starting off. Then Deweese.
Yeah, they're stretching, making it hard. Then
followed by a Walsh.
Colton Walsh, Nate Tem, and Dempster. DeSmet will shoot first, and it will be their leading goal scorer, Carson King. Prayers erupting in the stands. So the first shot will be Carson King versus Nick Randazzo. King's going to set up on his right side. Referee making sure his book's ready. He's drawn out the same chart I got. And Randazzo will, quote-unquote, stay on his line until the ball is struck. District championship on the line. Carson King. Goal.
Goal. Put that just out of the reach. Randazzo went the right way, but it was just too far, right into the corner.
So good penalty. Perfect. And now up steps Jack Edwards. The DeSmet students working their way over for a better view. It will be Edwards against Logan Payne. Logan Payne has the advantage of being the bigger of the goalkeepers. In theory, he can cover more of the goal by flopping side to side. But Edwards will try to send him the wrong way. Edwards does.
Yep. Cool and collected, Edwards.
That's an All-American doing an All-American thing, just very, very calmly. Opening up those hips at the last minute. And this is number 5. This is Lindell, Josh Lindell. He's going to take the second of the penalties for DeSmet. Lindell on Randazzo. Center back. A little more straight run up, but again, the right foot. Lindell, saved by Randazzo! Saved by Randazzo! CBC, chance to take the advantage here from Nolan DeWeese. Randazzo with the save. If CBC can find a way in this shootout, Randazzo is going to take some beating in the man of the match category. And now DeWeese. Right foot. Goal!
Yeah, he tattooed
CBC
that one.
takes the advantage.
High into the right side, just tucks it under the bar.
And that's 2 to the same side. And now, I always hate that as a goalkeeper because now you start thinking, I should start going to that side, but then they're thinking I'll be going to that side, so you start to play a little bit of head games. This is Randazzo and Avi Wessa. Wessa. Goal.
That's perfect. That was right against the side netting.
And I really like that delivery from Wessa because he knows he doesn't need to power it if he places it perfectly. So he's able to back off a little bit, stay calm, slow his heart rate, slow his breathing, and just place the ball exactly where he wants it. Not the most powerful penalty you'll see, but a good one. This is Colton Walsh for CBC. Again, CBC looking to retain the advantage with the goal here. Walsh. Goal!
Kind of a funky run-up.
It was.
Never paused, never stopped his run-up, changed a little direction.
And again, Payne has not gone to his left, and CBC has scored 3 to Payne's left. Now, all of a sudden, I'd expect him to go left. I'd expect CBC to go right, unless they want to try putting every penalty on the same side. Now this is Nick Gruey, number 23 for DeSmet. Gruey versus Randazzo. Goal.
Randazzo's gone the correct direction every time.
He has.
The only difference has been the pace and the placement.
There
was a lot of pace on that, and it was perfectly placed right next to the bar on the inside of the goal.
A lot of penalty saving as a goalkeeper is just putting yourself in the right position if the player misses it. If the player hits it sweetly where he's aiming, you're not saving it no matter what. And Nick Randazzo, by going the right way, puts himself in a position where if it's an imperfect penalty, he will save it. This is Nate Tem to keep the advantage for CBC. Goal! Goes the same way. All 4 shooters for CBC have scored going to Logan Payne's left. Payne continues to go to the right. And now a miss here would see CBC advance to the sectional round. This is Jackson Anderson. This is a must-score situation for Anderson. A miss or a save, and CBC wins another one in penalties. Anderson's going to take a long, straight run up, probably with the left foot. We're ready. The whistle, the kick. Off the bar! It's off the bar! Jackson Anderson fails to convert, and CBC are your Class 4 District 2 champions! Wow. What a game this was. You talk about 2 teams coming in and giving absolutely everything that they had. CBC, of course, will get the win. They advance. But what an effort we saw from this DeSmet team tonight, Tim.
It was incredible. My heart is still racing. Man of the match, easily Randazzo.
Easily.
But your heart goes out to this DeSmet team. They had a fantastic season. Once again, deja vu. CBC takes it in penalty kicks. Perfect in PKs this time around. Didn't even have to go to Dempster. Randazzo comes up with the big save and then forces the high one. That's always a danger going high. Mm-hmm. Always a danger going high. Get too much underneath it and it goes against the bar.
And this has been a rough night up here. I mean, you talk about the story of the game. You talk about 2 teams coming in. It was a physical game. It was an intense game. The energy was high.
Huge momentum swings.
Huge momentum swings. Even within overtime. The first half of overtime was all DeSmet. Second half, mostly CBC. And once you're in penalties, anything can happen. So congratulations to DeSmet, and especially to their seniors, on a wonderful, wonderful season, on being a magnificent team. But CBC are your Class 4 District 2 champions. Congratulations to the Cadets. Congratulations to Nick Randazzo, our player of the game. That's going to do it for us here on CSN. For all of us, for our students, for Mason Jenkins, for Max Adamski, Joe Cunningham, and for Charlie Hines, even if he's not here, for Randy Gardner, Tim Halfman-Morris, for all of us here, my name's Tom Eichwald. I want to thank you for joining us. Check back tomorrow night. We've got playoff football, CBC taking on Marquette right here in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth at 7 p.m. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful night, everybody.